Hey guys, Jason Schnitzer here with O.C Realtor Talk, and what I've got for you today is my favorite word in real estate, and that is leverage. So how I'm going to be breaking down with leverage and how it applies to real estate is using an example from a client that I just spoke with the last couple of weeks. They bought a house for $500,000 5 years ago. They initially got a loan out for $400,000 at 4% interest, and their payment currently is right at that $2,500 a month mark. So after doing an analysis, we figured out their house is probably worth about $800,000 now, and their loan balance is, in the 300, 350 range or so. So they've got $450,000 worth of unrealized equity in their property, and they're comfortable with this payment. They could probably go significantly higher at this point just because of where they're at with their jobs and their career. But they asked me, Jason, like, how can we use this equity that we have in our house to reinvest into the market, whether that be a pullout for the stock market, crypto, or reinvesting into real estate. And I gave them this example, which I believe that we're going to be following through on. So whenever you own real property in California, it's an asset. So you can borrow against it. Of course, most people borrow against it initially to purchase the home from another seller. So in other words, what's typical is you come in with a 20% down, cash out of pocket, and then the bank comes in with 80% to meet the purchase price. Well, what you just did was you leveraged your 20% to buy an asset worth, with the loan 80% more. And what goes along with that too is like when you compare it with the stock market, in order to have $500,000 in stock, well, you have to put forward $500,000 out of your pocket. Whereas with real estate, you can buy a $500,000 investment with just initially investing 20% into it, and then you leverage the other 80%. So in this circumstance, you can re-leverage your property as well as after the initial leveraging. And what I mean by that is you can refinance your loan and do what's called a cash out refinance, pull money out on that unrealized equity out of your property, get a new loan. And that new loan, again, is going to be pushed back out for 30 years typically, and use that equity to purchase another property. So in this example, what I used was we refinanced their property. So we pulled out with a new loan of $560,000. So we pulled out about $160,000 in this example. And in a lot of cases, because interest rates are so good, they're actually going from a 4% rate down to a 3% rate. So they're pulling money out and they're lowering their interest rate. So they're kind of double dipping there almost, which is a pretty cool thing. So at that new $560,000 loan, their principal and interest is $2,360. You get to keep your same tax base when you refinance. You don't get reassessed at a higher valuation during a refinance. And their insurance still $60 a month, giving them a new payment at $2,940. So in this instance, we went just middle of the road, or call it lower end, middle of the road, single family residence in Orange County. We can still make that happen for about $700,000. There's obviously a lot more options out there for less. I just took a realistic, comfortable number to do my example for. So realistically, when you're buying at $700,000 and you're an investor, you want to have 20% down. So we put $140,000 of the $160,000 plus that we pulled out in this scenario for the down payment. That would give us a new first trust deed at $560,000. Whenever you're buying an investment property, the bank considers that a higher risk than if you were buying it as your primary residence. So you do take a little higher interest rate. As you see, I used 3.25% there. So your principal and interest, $2,437. Your taxes are going to be assessed at the purchase price, which is about 1.25% of it annually. And then again, $60 a month for insurance, giving you a payment for $3,226. Now, You might be asking, well, that's all great, Jason. Why would I want to pay more and have this scenario for myself? Why does that make sense? Well, the difference in payment here is only about $350, and you can realistically rent out any single family residence in California, in Orange County, California, single family detached 3-bedroom 2-bath, between $3,000 and $3,500 a month, depending on where you buy and what you buy. So if this were to just break even in this scenario for about $350 a month, you could own 2 properties instead of 1. So when this house goes up to this price, now all of a sudden you own 2. So when they both go up in value, you get appreciation on both assets. You then get another property where there's going to be a renter paying down your principal balance, and eventually this $560 will be at 0. You get to decide whether or not you want to will that to your kids, re-leverage it down the line, do this again. When you own an investment property, you have an opportunity to do what's called a 1031, which you can sell this property. Let's say it goes up to $1 million. You can sell it, buy something of equal or greater value. You could potentially, and this is what we've had happen again recently too, I actually did a couple other videos on it. You can sell this property and then buy 2 units. Really, once you start owning assets that appreciate when everything else gets more expensive because of inflation, so do your assets. Generational wealth, appreciation, the ability to re-leverage, and eventually, for here in California, you reach the passive income when your payment stays the same. And guess what rents have done in the last 5 to 10 years? All they've done has gone up. So with passive income, eventually when you pay off your loan, you're going to have $3,200 plus coming in every month, and whatever is market value at the time. Really the opportunities are somewhat endless when you start owning assets. If you're curious how this could potentially be in the works for you, happy to help. I'm here for free consultations. We do these scenarios with every single one of our clients that ask us, 0 charge. Reach out to us online, give us a call. Would love to help you discover how leverage could benefit your real estate portfolio. So hope this was helpful for you guys. If you can think of somebody that it might help or that might be curious about this, go ahead and share it with them. Would really appreciate that. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Hey guys, thanks again for watching this week's episode of O.C Realtor Talk. If you gained any value from this video, we'd really appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, and followed us on all our social media platforms.
Yeah, what Jason I believe is really, really important for you, whether you're buying a house or selling a house, is understanding the process and knowing exactly what you're getting into. So if you ever have any questions, just follow the links below